Startup Huddle Almaty gathered dozens of inventors on its site. Everyone was united by a common interest in medicine. Projects that maybe in the future may not only bring profit to the inventors, but will also make life easier for people with various diseases. The well-known physician, president of the Academy of Preventive Medicine, Almaz Sharman, shared his experience with startuppers. He spoke about an invention that he patented in the United States and encouraged young talents to realize their inventions to life. There are many talents in Kazakhstan, and especially those who would like to apply their knowledge in the right direction. There are also financial resources for support. There are no less of them than even in the United States per capita. Therefore, if there are opportunities, I urge all those who have a good idea, who want to monetize it, put it into practice. They can come to the most to talk, maybe get some kind of grant and further develop his or her business. The head of IT company, Vitaly Yermolenko, is an experienced startupper. His platform for medical information, Medelement, is already very popular in Kazakhstan. Vitaly plans to conquer new markets, the CIS, Eastern Europe, and Asia. More than 1 million people use our platform every month. About 60% of these users are Kazakhstan residents. In total, according to the results of 2018, we had 9.5 million unique visitors on the platform who use these or those products more than 30 million times. And this includes not only Kazakhstan, but also the CIS. In principle, now our product is being introduced in the Russian Federation. We have clients in Uzbekistan. We are starting work in Belarus. That is, in the CIS, we are slowly being recognized. Mikhail Makarov has yet to repeat the success of a more experienced startup. His idea is to introduce the QR code technology in the process of issuing prescriptions in hospitals and clinics. You have probably encountered such a problem that when you come to a clinic, a doctor writes out an incomprehensible prescription on which it is not clear what is written and how to apply it is unclear. Our technology solves this problem. You get the QR code that you scan. You upload a file on which everything is written in an accessible, understandable form. Bring it to the pharmacy and you will be given a specific medication, which is written there, and you can use it freely. By scanning the QR code, the patients will also be able to read more about the medication, how it is used, and clarify the desired dosage. The startupper called his project Medical Pass and expects to receive about 1% of each purchase as payment. Incubator Most is ready to help startuppers with grants for projects where new ideas are always welcome, especially in the field of medicine, where startuppers have a wide field of activity and huge prospects. In the prevention and treatment of various diseases, the most important thing to remember is that health is a sensitive issue. Therefore, along with the convenience and benefits of new devices, confidentiality of patient data should come first. Bird raised $275 million from CDPQ and Sequoia Capital at a $2.5 billion valuation. Due to rumors of financial losses, the startup founder said that he should no longer focus on the rapid growth of revenues as the main KPI. The company was founded by former top manager of Uber and Lyft Travis van der Sanden. Announcing the attraction of investments, he said that one should strive for positive results of the unit economy and focus on what income each individual scooter brings. Bird was launched in 2017 and reached an estimate of $1 billion, a little more than a year. The company received the status of unicorn faster than any other startup in the United States. Startup Kitty Hawk, created at the expense of Google co-founder Larry Page and Boeing, released a quiet electric plane. You can control the novelty manually or using autopilot. The new heavy-side aircraft is designed for short flights. The model provides only one seat, but technical power allows to increase the number of passengers in the future. The wingspan of the novelty is 6 meters. The design allows heavy-side to take off and land without acceleration, as well as develop an average speed of 190 kilometers per hour. Aircraft battery charge is enough for 106 kilometers of flight. At an altitude of 457 meters, the aircraft produces only 38 decibels. For comparison, the quietest dishwasher does not reduce noise below 400 decibels. Drones. These unmanned aerial vehicles today perform many useful functions: deliver cargo, monitor weather conditions, and fight weeds and pests. One of the latest know-how in the field of quadcopter use is drone racing. Andrei Manko stood at the origins of this sport. He is an experienced pilot and winner of the first Republican Drone Racing Championship. Andrei prefers self-assembled designs to standard multicopters from stores. This is a 210 class quadcopter, fast enough, far from top end in terms of components at the moment. In principle, I drove the exact same device in competitions. A good machine, such combat inexpensive. According to Andrei, in order to slip the drone between trees or stones, it is necessary to feel the shape and inertia of the copter in order to correctly perform a vertical maneuver and fit into a sharp turn. This is like a computer game, with the only difference that everything happens in real time. And not only whether you win a prize, but also the safety of technology, which naturally falls, collides, breaks, depends on the art of aerobatics. If you are engaged in some kind of sports, action, even motorcycle racing, in cars, that is, any kind of active movement like that, you have to have a quick reaction. The drone transfers the picture to the glasses in an instant. There is no delay. Therefore, everything is in your fingers. Everything depends on how fast you will respond to changes in front of your eyes. Racing tracks are different. In the United States, empty spaces are popular. Stadiums or squares, where nothing prevents you from driving at full speed along the track marked with tape. In Europe, on the contrary, they prefer enclosed spaces filled with all kinds of obstacles. By the way, unlike the classic competitions of radio-controlled aircraft, drone pilots do not control the position of their devices directly, but with the help of an onboard camera on a computer or a tablet, or from the first person in virtual glasses. However, these are all the details. The main thing in drone racing is to adhere to the competition rules. It is developed by specialized organizations, such as the Kazakhstan Drone Racing Association. Drone racing, it's like Formula One in the air. The race is completed by one pilot who flies through all the obstacles, and at the finish, their completion time and accuracy is compared. Or 4 of them complete at the same time. They can also crash into each other or fly over at a high speed. If you didn't fly over some obstacles or flew past it, you should definitely go back and do a lap again. There is no single set of rules for holding competitions in this sport. Therefore, each association develops its own standards for pilots and their drones. For example, in Kazakhstan, before the race, the shape and size of the frame, screws, type of battery, and much more are discussed. These rules and basics of aerobatics are taught at the Drone Racing School, which was created under the association of the same name. Dragonfly Systems is a school that gives the younger generation an understanding of what physics, the basics of it, are, in order to further apply it both to the university and in the future life, because it develops both motor skills and knowledge of technology. Drone racing in Kazakhstan has great prospects. For example, not so long ago in Dubai, international racing competitions were held with a prize fund of $1 million. Similar championships can be held in the Republic. However, in order to avoid tragic causes, the activities of drones must be regulated at the legislative level. Thanks to this, fans of flying cars will know exactly at what altitude it is safe to fly, how not to create radio interference, and, most importantly, whether they can control drones, because trained pilots will be given official licenses. Can you hear me? Too much light. This way is fine. Hello, my name is Anton Musin. I'm Managing Director of Accenture Kazakhstan. Let's talk about a technology or a set of technologies called big data. Probably it is worth first of all to talk about the term itself, which is rather overused. It was first mentioned in 2008 in the journal Nature. Since then, the essence of this term has changed a lot. This term from the task associated with the use of big data has changed in very different directions.
С моей точки зрения, этот термин от задач, связанных с использованием больших данных, девальвировался в очень разные направления. И, наверное, правильнее...
It's probably right to use the term data science now.
Data science, да, то есть наука о данных. Что же такое?
So what is it? Pretty simple thing in itself, but behind it are pretty sophisticated technologies and big data.
Сложных технологий. Data science — это наука о больших данных. Что есть большие данные? Большие данные — это данные с точки зрения...
In terms of data volume, if a company, algorithm, or system processes are more than 100 gigabytes per day, then this is big data.
Данные больше 100 гигабайт в день, или какой-то алгоритм или технология обрабатывает больше 100 гигабайт в день, это и есть большие данные. Раньше, если говорить...
Previously, there was no way to process such a large amount of information.
Способы обработки такого большого массива данных были ограничены. Сейчас...
Now, there are technologies that allow to process even a much larger amount of data and get a certain result.
И получать результат, получать value, да, для нас с вами. О каком результате может идти речь?
What result are we talking about? From a large amount of data from car traffic, from your transactions in the bank. You can get information about your data while driving cars or your behavior in the financial sector.
Дополнительные так называемые инсайты, то есть информацию о, допустим, вашем поведении за рулем автомобиля или о вашем платежном поведении, если мы говорим о финансовом секторе. То есть
Thanks to big data technology, you can get certain predictive elements when you realize your client is solvent or not.
Когда вы понимаете, что, допустим, ваш клиент, банковский клиент, может себя с точки зрения поведения транзакционного вести каким-то образом.
And on this basis, banks build their business models. This allows you to earn extra money or provide analytical services to your customers.
На этом дополнительные деньги или предоставлять своим клиентам дополнительные сервисы. Если говорить о будущем,
If we talk about the future, most likely big data will be applied online. When you perform certain actions or algorithms in the system with which you work and based on the behavior of other users, at the time of the action, you will be offered an additional service.
Технологические алгоритмы за той системой или за тем интерфейсом, с которым вы работаете, будут в онлайне анализировать ваши действия и на основе поведения других пользователей, например, на основе вашего поведения, вам в real-time, то есть непосредственно в момент совершения вами этого действия, предлагать какой-то дополнительный, допустим, сервис. Ну, например,
For example, again, an example from the banking world. When making a purchase in a store, you will have a POS terminal through which you will conduct your purchase. On the basis of the received and processed big data, it will offer a discount in the context of a specific point of sale.
На основе тех транзакций, которые вы делали, может в онлайне предложить скидку в разрезе конкретной точки продаж. Да, вы в какой-то магазин зашли, вам предложили там скидку. Будущее у технологий довольно большое.
The future of technology is quite promising. Every year, big data technologies will learn to process more and more information, and an infinitely large number of algorithms can be used to analyze this information. And this market is growing every year. Despite the fact that, on the one hand, there were too high expectations from this technology. Nevertheless, it is not developing so fast, but these expectations will still be recognized after some time.
Технология, тем не менее, может быть, не так быстро развивается, как эти ожидания, но ожидания довольно существенные, и я думаю, они будут реализовываться в дальнейшем.
Today, so-called STEM education is gaining popularity all over the world. It involves a mixed learning environment and shows students how a scientific method can be applied to everyday life. Simply put, the STEM Center is a design laboratory where students can do research using digital equipment. Our task is to set a vector, the direction of his development, and create a favorable environment for him so that he can realize his skills and talent already in practice, at home. At the moment, about 15 people have already signed up. Attend our classes, children like it. This is the third STEM Center in Almaty. There are 8 visits per month. The duration of each lesson is 1.5 hours. But such long lessons does not scare Ali Yiltai. After school, he immediately goes to this center because in the future, Ali dreams to become an engineer. I learned how to make hydraulic excavators, bridges, and many other things. And I learned the law of physics. The word STEM is the first letters of 4 words that easily describe this new direction in education: science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Due to the rapid development of technology, these disciplines are today considered the most popular in the world. In engineering, at our place, children begin to create their own projects with their own hands, develop fine hand motor skills, some creative skills, thinking and understanding of what surrounds us as a whole more globally, extensively. What is it? Why it is necessary? What is it made of? And due to what principles does it operate? Students of the program STEM Education, in addition to physics and mathematics, study programming and robotics, designing and programming their own robots. In the classroom, special technological laboratory and educational equipment are used. This is Lego EV3. We collect it, then program it on our program. We set the coordinates, functions, actions that it must perform. Next, we have Arduino. These are resistor-transistor boards, LEDs, servos. We collect them so that it performs a specific function. 3D modeling is another training module of the STEM Center. The task of 3D modeling is to develop a visual volumetric image of the desired object. Moreover, the model can either correspond to objects from the real world and be completely abstract. We have a 3D printer and various programs, 3Z Max, AutoCAD. We teach these programs to children so that they can bring their ideas to life, create their own projects. After that, they already print out their models, designs. According to the founders of the STEM Center in Almaty, in the future, they plan to expand the area of the design laboratory and, accordingly, increase enrollment of children. In addition, they plan to introduce a system of elementary education as an option in secondary schools of Kazakhstan. Aydin Rakhimbayev invested $5 million in Choco Family. The total investment in the company exceeded $8 million and the valuation reached $50 million. According to the result of the round, the founders and management of the company owe 60% of the company's share. 18% belong to Timur Turlov. Aydin Rakhimbayev got 10%. Murat Abdrahmanov had the same amount. Another 2% of the company belongs to Diemuz Capital. Choco Family continues to show stable growth of at least 60% per year and expects 84 billion tenge of consolidated turnover in 2019, which will be about 14.5% of the entire e-commerce market in Kazakhstan. The number of active buyers exceeded 700,000 people who make more than 500,000 purchases per month. Kazakhstan startup has proposed a solution for finding free parking spaces in the capital and a way for passive income for car enthusiasts. The concept of the Turak Share project allows car owners to share their parking space with other people. In other words, by downloading the mobile application, you can rent out your parking space while you are at work or when your car is at the repair shop. The rental price is competitive and, with proper planning, it can be only 55 tenge per hour. The developers hope that the startup will become popular among the residents of Nur Sultan and intend to offer a similar service to the residents of Almaty in the future.